Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea, a channel for marriage-minded men. I married a woman from the Philippines back in 2015. Now, I want to talk about regrets, and the regret I have marrying my Filipino wife isn't what you think. Let's talk about regrets. Please leave a comment if you can relate to this and subscribe here to Love Beyond the Sea. A subscriber asked me one day if I had any regrets. And this was before I've been married as long as I have been. And it was something that hadn't crossed my mind before. So I thought I would take some time and put some thoughts down. And as always, I hope that someone can learn from what I say. I'm not the final authority on anything. I just try to follow the Word of God in this relationship and share as our relationship develops. Love Beyond the Sea exists to help foreigners and Filipinas have a good marriage, from even before contacting someone online to thoughts on providing for her at death. I hope this runs the gamut as I gain more experience with my wife. That's why I think the videos get more, richer and deeper over time, because, I'm just learning more about the whole dynamic. So again, please subscribe, and I'm going to mention two possible regrets that pop up regularly in comments over the years, and then conclude with my only regret. How about this one? Getting married too soon. Do you regret getting married so quickly? It's possible to marry a Filipina in a lot less time than it would take in another country, and you should go where you wanted. For me, this was a good thing, as I had been looking and waiting for someone I wanted to marry for a very, very long time. Someone where it was reciprocal. When people speculate that a couple got married too soon, I think they're saying that they got married without doing some critical thinking and evaluation and preparation about this relationship. I think that can happen even when couples are together for several years or more. I mean, if you want to know everything, you may never know everything about them if you've been married for a long time. You'll observe some things, but as far as knowing some things about their past, well, that may or may not come out. But it's just going to take a long time to get to know somebody. I'm still learning things after 10 years of being married to my wife. Now, when the husband is older, like I am, and we do have an age gap, it's possible that he has figured out over the years what is important and what isn't, and what is more important than other things. He may be in a good position to put more emphasis on the younger Filipina's total well-being than when he was younger. My priorities changed over the years, and coupled with studying as much about marriage as I could, that helped me prepare for marrying anyone. That is not to say that I knew everything about my wife in the Philippines, because that isn't possible. I felt like I knew what I needed to know, and that I had a blueprint for how I wanted to build our marriage, which I did share with her before we got married. And Love Beyond the Sea is about practical ideas for managing a foreigner and Filipina marriage well. But getting married too soon, by the way, I've said it so many times, I can't remember if everybody knows, but we got married in 54 days, proposed on day 18, flew over to the Philippines here from America, and got married in less than 8 weeks, and married 10 years now. How about this possible regret? The money issue, sending money over to the Philippines. And you don't know exactly how this will need to be worked out until you've been married for a while. You can address it before marriage in a general way, but I wouldn't suggest making hard and fast boundaries and dollar amounts right away. You just never know what could happen. Someone could need money for a burial, a legitimate and major medical issue, or some unexpected and unavoidable circumstance. How much are you willing to help with a major surgery or even cancer treatment? For whom? Just talking about it with your wife should be productive, even if in ballpark figures. This is also just part of marrying a Filipina. If you married an American woman, you might complain she wastes money on all kinds of things she doesn't need, that she is high maintenance, has expensive tastes. If you marry a Filipina, she likely has a family she has been supporting and is expected to continue to support. That much you should know, and you know now. So maybe some of this kind of evens out. All the support we have sent back home has been for necessities or above that by our own choice. It has been intended for good and has gone well. Now, here is my only regret in marrying my Filipino wife, and I will give full disclosure here, and that is that I didn't do it earlier. I was almost going to say that after ruminating on it for a while, that I had no regrets. However, that wouldn't be entirely true. The only regret I have is I didn't do it sooner. I was 53 at that time, which isn't ancient, but I was beginning to feel that way. I had assumed I'd be married by the time I was like 25. The way it worked out, there was no way I could have met her and married her when I was in the so-called prime of my life. Not possible. It seemed like women at 25 had already married or moved on with their life, but not so with the Philippines. There you can find many women that age, like in their 20s, 30s, who wonder if they are too old to get married. And once they get to 30, they feel like they're too old and time has passed them by. Same with some other places. That's why I say go where you're wanted. I have no problem saying that I need this little woman from Davao City. I need her in my life. She has been such a blessing. I have never wondered what my life would be like had I met her earlier. I guess the idea of a foreign wife was just not realistic to me before I met her. That's why I'm suggesting a foreign wife to my viewers who are single and unattached. I wish I had done it earlier when I first caught wind of this idea back in the 90s. But I think that was a little bit before the internet, and communication would have been really, really difficult. I think that's the main reason I just didn't think about it. But a wife from another country can certainly be a consideration. In our case, or my case, better late than never. So many of us have married a Filipina, and we are glad we did. I don't want anyone to regret not trying, or at least not assembling enough information for them to know if a Filipino wife is something they should think about. And this channel is all about all of that. You only have so much time, and you aren't even privy to that. So again, go where you're wanted. No regrets here, finding my love beyond the sea.